100 Forgotten Things from 1960s America. Beyond the iconic music, vintage automobiles, and monochrome television sets, the 1960s contained countless everyday elements that have faded from memory. Some evoke warm nostalgia, while others seem almost unbelievable in retrospect. From unusual customs and fleeting innovations to scenes of daily life that have completely disappeared, these details paint a vivid portrait of an America that exists no more. Let's travel back in time to explore these forgotten aspects of the 1960s that many will deeply miss. Average salary and family life. In those days, the typical yearly income in America hovered around $7,000. Though it sounds incredibly low by modern standards, this sum enabled families to live comfortably on a single paycheck. Dad would head off to his job, earning enough to provide for everyone, keep the car running, and still put aside money for vacation. While not extravagant, people felt secure rather than constantly struggling to make ends meet. White picket fences and familiar neighbors. The vision of a home surrounded by white picket fencing, featuring a welcoming front porch and a functioning doorbell, represented more than just architecture. It symbolized tight community bonds. In these neighborhoods, residents knew everyone by name, swapped daily tales, and connected over life's small moments. Daily existence centered on strong neighborly ties where people freely asked for help, borrowed items, and felt protected within their local community. Glass milk bottles at the door. Each morning before breakfast preparation began, the distinct clink of fresh glass milk bottles being delivered would echo through the neighborhood. Occasionally, lucky families found a small chocolate milk bottle included, a delightful surprise that transformed an ordinary morning into something magical for children. That familiar sound became woven into daily rhythms, bringing uncomplicated happiness and energizing the start of each new day. Drying clothes outdoors, clotheslines crisscrossed backyards, heavy with garments secured by clothespins. Though bath towels emerged somewhat stiff from their time in the sun and breeze, they carried a unique aroma of freshness and sunshine. No dryer was necessary to achieve that clean feeling because nature's own scent accomplished everything. Life back then felt more transparent and intertwined with the natural world, embracing the straightforward pleasures available to everyone. Gas station attendant. Pulling into a filling station meant a uniformed attendant would immediately approach your vehicle. His service extended far beyond pumping gas. He'd inspect your oil levels, wipe down your windshield, and perhaps offer a complimentary road map with a smile. Credit cards and digital screens didn't exist. Transactions involved coins, acknowledgement, and genuine friendliness. This represented truly personalized service where customers experienced genuine care and human interaction, contrasting sharply with today's automated systems. Green stamps. Green stamps became ubiquitous, an essential component of everyday shopping. Shoppers would peel them from grocery receipts, meticulously place them in collection booklets, and steadily accumulate them. The objective was exchanging them for coveted household goods, perhaps a blender, cooling fan, or sparkling new toaster. The redemption catalog represented a realm of possibilities, and finally, collecting enough booklets to claim your prize felt like striking gold, delivering genuine excitement akin to winning big. Cuban Missile Crisis. While the Cuban Missile Crisis peaked in 1962, the dread and tension surrounding potential nuclear conflict lingered over Americans throughout the late 1950s and early 1960s. Citizens kept radios nearby, attentively monitoring every broadcast, and gazed skyward with increased apprehension, contemplating potential catastrophe. Schools regularly conducted duck and cover drills, a straightforward yet unsettling practice where pupils crawled beneath desks, protected their necks, and pretended they'd survive atomic devastation. During this period, the entire planet seemed suspended in uncertainty, with that anxiety permanently etched in an entire generation's consciousness. Saddle shoes. Saddle shoes dominated as an essential fashion staple of the 1950s, worn so frequently they practically became permanent fixtures. They epitomized school days, constantly getting scuffed before class started, with recess devoted to meticulously restoring their white sections. These shoes maintained just enough presence to be perpetually noticed, yet never quite bothersome enough to abandon completely. Nearly every student owned a pair, regardless of personal preference, because they constituted part of the expected uniform and cultural identity. They remain artifacts from simpler times, brimming with youthful mischief. Camera flash bulbs. Capturing photographs in dim lighting required flash bulbs that needed replacement after every single shot. They'd burst, sizzle, and heat up rapidly. Photographers always carried backup packs of these tiny bulbs like essential supplies. During family events, subjects frequently endured being temporarily blinded multiple times consecutively just to guarantee capturing one decent photograph. Viewmaster. Every 1950s child possessed at least one Viewmaster reel, an enchanting gadget that transported users to alternate realities. Children enthusiastically clicked through brilliant 3D photographs of impressive national parks, beloved cartoon personalities, or vibrant Disney landscapes. That compact red viewing device possessed the remarkable ability to transport users, click by click, to destinations previously only encountered in literature. Sometimes children would reverse the reel repeatedly simply to prolong the pleasure of exploration. Barbershop with red and white spinning pole. Throughout every community, small barbershops were readily identifiable by their rotating red and white striped poles standing outside, an unmistakable emblem. Inside awaited familiar checkered tile flooring, comfortable traditional leather chairs, and a radio perpetually tuned to the same station playing consistent music or news coverage. This served as the gathering place for men to debate politics, baseball statistics, and neighborhood rumors. Appointments weren't required. Patrons simply waited their turn while catching up on community happenings. Home 8mm projectors. 8mm film projectors provided excellent means for preserving treasured family occasions, joyful birthday celebrations, memorable summer getaways, and backyard shenanigans. Viewing required pulling out the screen, carefully threading film into position, and switching off the lights. The footage would flicker to life, then suddenly everyone erupted in laughter, witnessing themselves in vintage, grainy, shaky, slow-motion scenes. Despite imperfect quality, those reels contained invaluable emotional significance, preserving sweet recollections, abundant laughter, and familial warmth. Do you still possess any items from the 1950s? Share your recollections in the comments. Iconic cars. The 1950s represented the pinnacle era for American automobiles with distinctive styling and characteristic features. Models such as the Chevrolet Bel Air, Ford Thunderbird, and Cadillac Eldorado transcended mere transportation. They embodied luxury and independence. Particularly notable were their tail fins, establishing a distinctive and memorable aesthetic. They represented countless dreams, appearing throughout bustling urban streets and tranquil suburban neighborhoods alike. Aluminum ice trays. Obtaining ice required using both hands to manipulate the frigid metal lever, silently hoping cubes wouldn't scatter across the kitchen floor. When they finally released, the noise proved loud enough to startle sleeping pets. Curiously, ice produced from these aluminum trays somehow seemed colder and fresher than any ice from contemporary refrigerators. Car back seat as a mobile playground. Before seatbelts became mandatory equipment, station wagon back seats functioned as genuine mobile playgrounds for children. They offered unrestricted space filled with blankets, toys, and occasionally even unleashed dogs running freely. Nobody fastened seatbelts, yet children somehow survived every journey. They bounced with each road bump, cheerfully snacked, and squabbled over window seats. These represented boundless adventures where imagination flourished and recollections of liberty and carefree existence were permanently etched. Elevator operators. Elevators during the 1950s lacked automation, always staffed by professional operators inside. They wore crisp uniforms, some including white gloves, projecting courtesy and dependability. The operator would open the gate, rotate a small crank controlling the elevator, and announce floors with clarity and precision like conducting a symphony. Fourth floor, housewares, linens, toys. The elevator journey back then felt refined and created the impression of traveling somewhere truly significant. Polaroid cameras. Polaroid cameras emerged as technological marvels of their time. Users simply pressed the button, heard the characteristic whir, then patiently waited and waited. Someone invariably exclaimed, "Shake it!" despite this providing no actual benefit. Then, when the photograph eventually materialized, gradually developing on the paper, it delivered an enchanting sensation, tangible evidence of your presence in that specific moment. These photographs typically ended up attached to refrigerators or sometimes disappeared permanently into forgotten drawers. Vending machines, so different. Dropping a few coins could actually yield something substantial to eat. Options included a chilled soda, gum package, or even a sandwich for the adventurous. No complicated touchscreens or card readers existed, just worn, barely functioning buttons and snacks perpetually stuck on the upper shelf, requiring creative retrieval methods. Ice cream trucks with characteristic music. The ice cream truck's melody signaled summer's arrival. That distinctive tune carried 5 blocks away, immediately prompting screams for spare change from parents. Then children would sprint barefoot across scorching sidewalks despite burning heat to intercept the ice cream truck. The truck's offerings never varied, yet the joy remained constant. Whether bomb pops or alternatives, they tasted superior when you had to race for them. Metal lunchboxes. Metal lunchboxes from the 1950s were constructed like fortresses. The lid typically featured images from favorite television programs or comic books, showcasing personal interests. Inside resided a small thermos, perpetually carrying a faint milk odor, regardless of contents. Though latches frequently broke and handles often fractured, children still carried these boxes daily as though they provided protective armor. Cartoons. Classic programs included Howdy Doody, Captain Kangaroo, and Hop-Along Cassidy. The puppets appeared peculiar, settings were basic, and humor seemed ancient even then. Yet children remained untroubled. These characters seemed to communicate directly with young viewers, making all the difference. Unsupervised walks to school. Walking to school represented unrestricted adventure. No navigation applications, maps, or adult oversight required. Children only needed backpacks, coats, and instructions to return home directly. However, most didn't comply. Frequent detours included stopping at corner stores for candy or exploring interesting discoveries, then arriving home precisely by dinner time as though nothing unusual occurred. What memory from that era remains strongest? Tell me your preferred childhood food. Record players. A gentle click, a familiar slight hiss, then music suddenly filled the environment. Every celebration, every Saturday, every initial heartbreak, the soundtrack originated from glossy black vinyl records. People learned recognizing which 45s frequently skipped and the remedy involving carefully placing a coin on the needle. Back then, nobody played music merely as background ambiance. People genuinely listened, savoring every musical note and lyric. Foldable plastic rain bonnets in mom's purse. Plastic rain bonnets were essential items in every 1950s mother's handbag. They were compactly folded into tiny squares, prepared for any circumstance. The moment skies darkened, boom! The bonnet emerged like superhero gear, safeguarding perfectly styled hair. Though unfashionable, they proved remarkably effective. Somehow, nobody questioned why every woman carried one. It simply represented standard practice. Thoughtful preparation, mothers consistently maintained. Fighting the TV for reception. Television viewing presented challenges but created lasting memories as entire families collaborated enjoying favorite programs. One person had to grip the rabbit ear antenna firmly while another continuously shouted, "That's perfect! Stop! No! Adjust slightly! Release!" Aluminum foil got stuffed atop the antenna while everyone prayed for stable picture quality. Successfully achieving reception felt like winning a minor victory. Streetlights as home curfews for kids in the 1950s. Streetlights transcended mere illumination. They functioned as clocks, signaling homecoming time. When those streetlights activated, children understood it meant returning home. Regardless of game quality or play excitement, bicycle brakes squealed, kids rapidly disappeared like phantoms, and mothers appeared in doorways with single firm commands. Home. Children didn't argue. They simply understood. Penny candy. The 1950s was when pennies actually purchased candy. Children entered corner stores with handfuls of coins, departing with small brown paper bags brimming with sweet delights. Options included wax bottles containing fruit juice, tiny button candies, or occasionally enormous jawbreakers lasting 3 recesses. Sugar symbolized freedom, and nobody inquired about ingredients. Encyclopedias by mail. Before Google's existence, instant information lookup was impossible. Instead, people waited 6 to 8 weeks, receiving Volume G of ordered encyclopedia sets through postal service. Encyclopedia salespeople knocked on doors promising smarter children and shiny, gold-trimmed, carefully bound book collections. Upon finally arriving, they occupied prominent positions on living room bookshelves like intellectual treasures. Though perhaps only opening Volume T for dinosaur information, their presence instilled pride and intellectual curiosity throughout entire families. Glass bottle sodas and wall-mounted bottle openers. Soda back then didn't fizz properly unless contained in glass bottles, offering distinctive taste and sensation. Opening those bottles required special bottle openers, frequently permanently attached to garage walls. After opening, bottle caps would be arranged on workbenches like trophies. No twist caps existed. Genuine effort was required enjoying these treats. Banks bribing customers with appliances. Banks didn't merely want your deposits, they enticed customers with appealing kitchen appliance gifts. Simply opening savings accounts meant leaving with new toasters, glass cup sets, or even blenders. It sounds peculiar yet wonderful because, frankly, toasters then exceeded the interest rates offered. Laughter in the living room watching sitcoms. Entire families paused all activities when classic television programs like Bonanza, Gunsmoke, or The Andy Griffith Show aired. Westerns dominated everywhere, accompanied by studio-generated canned laughter. Families watched collectively, not silently, but with continuous commentary. He's getting hit next. That guy's trouble. Turn up the volume. Scent of mimeograph paper. Freshly printed mimeograph paper's aroma hit like waves, carrying a distinctive fragrance. It emerged warm, smelled heavily of ink, and typically featured purple text, creating strange attraction. Teachers distributed these papers, and approximately half the class lifted them to their noses, inhaling as though holding something mystical. Honestly, nobody understood why they smelled so appealing. Yet it became integral to the school experience, an unforgettable hallmark of those academic years. Are you still with us on this nostalgic journey? Leave a yes in the comments to let us know you're enjoying it. Homemade lunches. Homemade lunches typically came in simple paper bags containing sandwiches slightly compressed by heavy textbooks. Fillings usually consisted of bologna and mustard, accompanied by crispy potato chip packets wrapped in wax paper, fresh apples, and occasionally, if fortunate, cookies. School lunchtime involved making under-the-table deals, exchanging snacks like miniature stock markets. Home slide projectors. You recognized a family slideshow was imminent when room lights dimmed and the projector began clicking. The initial thunk of the circular slide tray was unmistakable. Blurry vacation photographs, unclear birthday celebrations, or relative pictures all projected onto screens. Someone invariably narrated excessively loudly, and nobody endured entire shows without someone dozing off. Mechanical typewriters. Typing classes resembled chaotic orchestras of heavy keys, loud clicks, and fingers stained with ribbon ink. A single mistake meant restarting everything. Forgetting the carriage return at line endings resulted in entire misaligned, strange-looking paragraphs. It represented challenging, patience-building learning processes where students confronted small errors and learned overcoming them. Itchy wool blanket in the car trunk. In most 1950s, family car trunks resided old, often itchy wool blankets rarely used for intended purposes. They remained there, just in case, for spontaneous roadside picnics or emergency snowstorms. Nobody actively chose using them. They functioned like last resort towels at grandmother's house. Yet they proved extremely loyal, perpetually ready serving when most needed. Simple yet meaningful items. Itchy church clothes. Sunday mornings wearing church attire was unavoidable ritual. Clothes were itchy, shoes stiff, and collars never laid properly flat. However, it constituted part of services where squirming on hard pews, secretly counting church ceiling tiles, and suppressing giggles during prayers was required. Sometimes sermons lasted eternally, yet sometimes grandmother offered peppermints. Stovetop popcorn. Popcorn then didn't originate from convenient prepackaged bags. Corn kernels got poured into large metal pots with oil added, then continuous shaking occurred as though lives depended on it. It represented genuine arm workouts, requiring strength and persistence. Fragrant popcorn aroma filled entire houses before first kernels popped. When pots overflowed with popcorn, success was confirmed, creating perfect hot, delicious snacks. TV dinners. TV dinners weren't luxurious, yet felt like special treats. Foil peeled back from small metal trays, then extended waiting periods commenced, while kitchens filled with unmistakable aromas of overcooked peas, Salisbury steak, mashed potatoes, and brownies, never cooking evenly. Small metal trays symbolized modernity and convenience, quick solutions for busy dinners. Metal Christmas tinsel. Christmas tinsel then wasn't plastic like today. It consisted of thin, shimmering metal strands. They weren't carelessly thrown. Instead, each strand was meticulously positioned onto trees. Twinkling Christmas lights behind metal tinsel made entire trees sparkle like postcards. Tinsel adhered to everything, yet nobody minded because it created classic, lavish beauty, bringing warm, nostalgic Christmas atmospheres. Classic radio buttons. Classic radio buttons clicked like small safes, each press producing distinct, satisfying sounds. Pushing one button caused others to pop out like jealous siblings. Favorite radio stations could be preset and found with simple presses. The familiar crackling sound followed, then music began playing without anyone calling it analog. Vacuum tubes behind the TV. Behind old televisions, small vacuum tubes emitted faint orange glows, gently humming as though machines were breathing. If screen pictures flickered, simple tapping sufficed. If TVs completely failed, someone carried old tubes in paper bags to hardware stores buying replacements. Self-repair wasn't optional, it simply represented standard practice. Do you have any unique stories about an invention or item from the 1950s that few people know about? Share below to let us know. Hair rollers, before bed. Women wrapped them tightly before sleeping, both for beauty and secretly hoping to avoid crushing their heads during dreams. Some rollers were foam, others plastic, and some required securing pins. Next mornings, unrolling them resembled opening gifts, praying curls would hold until lunchtime. School milk and small cartons. School milk arrived in small paper cartons, genuine struggles opening neatly, always tearing, splattering, or simply refusing to open. Milk was transported in large metal crates, faintly smelling metallic, and regardless of initial coldness, it warmed by snack time. Grandma's non-electric sewing machine. Grandmother's sewing machines didn't require electricity. They operated entirely on foot power. Watching her operate the pedal like professional drummers, gently guiding fabric with steady hands. Machines produced steady clicking sounds, creating perfectly straight stitches superior to any digital machines today. Curiously, those sewing machines always faintly smelled of dust and lemon polish. Cigarette vending machines in diners. Coke then frequently came in heavy glass bottles chilled from freezers, offering distinctive, unforgettable tastes. In some diners, glowing cigarette vending machines occupied corners, metal levers, small windows displaying cigarette packs, and satisfying thunks as packs dropped out. Nobody inquired about age. It represented different worlds, not superior or inferior, simply different. NASA ads for Tang. Tang, the slightly tart orange powder drink, became absolute icons, not from special taste, but because astronauts consumed it. NASA's advertisements proved powerfully effective, and suddenly every child wanted sipping what space heroes drank. Even if mothers sometimes mixed it excessively strong, Tang's artificial orange flavor connected to space dreams, exploration, and promising futures. Rotary phones. Rotary phones weren't designed for speed. They demanded patience. If friends' phone numbers contained excessive nines, dialing could consume entire afternoons. Finger slips midway meant restarting completely. Yet the sounds produced, the clicky return spin, somehow felt more satisfying than any smartphone beeps today. Bench seats in cars. Bench seats in cars, then, were simply long bench seats. No seat belts, no cup holders. Passengers were thrown around corners, piled onto siblings. The sole restraint was mother's arms flying forward at every stop sign, instinctive protective reflexes. It constituted family car experiences, endearing chaos where laughter and shouts blended, creating unforgettable memories. Plastic sofa covers. Plastic sofa covers represented genuine summer curses. They were designed protecting furniture, yet trapped every heat ounce, causing hot discomfort. Sitting in shorts immediately brought regret from sticky sensations, backs drenched in sweat. Yet removal wasn't permitted, at least not until guests departed. Sometimes, not even then. Yellow pages. Yellow pages weighed tons, thick as large dictionaries because they contained information treasures. They were typically tucked under phones or used propping children at dinner. Need plumbers? Flip to Psalm? Lost dogs? Check classifieds? They were phone books, extra seats, and doorstops, indispensable multi-purpose items in every household. Film in black canisters. Film came in small black canisters requiring careful self-loading into cameras. camera backs opened, film pulled out, wound tightly and correctly. Once film loaded, each shutter press felt like small commitments. No previews, no second chances, just hope and photo lab trips. Canned spaghetti. Canned spaghetti proved lifesavers for busy weeknights. No extensive wondering required, just heat in pots, pour into chipped bowls, ready to eat. This dish had distinctive orange color, slight mushiness, and was labeled Italian style. At least brands claimed so, and nobody knew better. It was dinner, it was cheap, and somehow still satisfied hungry stomachs. Drive-in movie theaters. Drive-in movie theaters were asphalt miracles, romantic, comfortable, characteristic 1950s entertainment culture. Drivers entered, hung metal speakers on windows, and secretly hoped they functioned. Families in station wagons, couples in convertibles, all staring at glowing screens under starry skies. If popcorn spilled, nobody minded because cars were probably already quite messy. Cloth diaper boxes with washing instructions. Cloth diaper boxes then had instructions printed directly on sides: boil and bleach. No convenient disposable diapers, just stacks of white fabric folded into perfect squares and fastened with safety pins. Bathroom buckets weren't decorative, they had specific purposes. On laundry days, entire houses filled with laundry detergent smells, rubber diaper covers, and mothers' steadfast love for their children. Metal toy trucks. Metal toy trucks were nearly weapons. Sturdy, sharp-edged, and perpetually missing wheels, they survived sandboxes, staircases, and even backyard burials. Christmas recipients knew they were built lasting. If little brothers threw them, they'd leave dents on walls and floors. Job advertisements. Job advertisements in the 1950s had two distinct categories: help wanted male and help wanted female. Nobody questioned it. That's simply how things functioned. Secretaries here, mechanics there. The world seemed clearly divided. Crossing that line? Good luck, because it represented major challenges. Returnable soda bottles. Soda bottles then weren't merely drinks. They were disguised money. Bringing them back to stores, bottles clinking in cardboard boxes, yielded small nickels in return. Then, immediately turning around, spending that money on candy. Returnable bottles were identifiable from across streets. They possessed special opportunity shimmer. Cartoons before the main feature at the cinema. Before main movies started at cinemas, short cartoons played, maybe Bugs Bunny, Popeye, or Tom and Jerry. They provided brief fun before lights dimmed and main stories commenced. Audiences laughed, slurped drinks, then main movies officially started. It was complete nights out with popcorn, candy, and 2-hour magic on big screens, full entertainment experiences. New plastic lunchboxes with a characteristic smell. New plastic lunchboxes had very distinct smells: sweet, sharp, slightly chemical. Peeling lids revealed bologna sandwiches wrapped in wax paper, and maybe Twinkies if fortunate. That initial vinyl whiff meant lunch truly was ready. Nobody forgot scents associated with childhood, school lunches, and simple yet memorable meals. What a real 1960s home looked like inside. Nothing captures 1960s spirit as vividly as homes preserved intact from that era. Stepping through doors, vibrant colors, unconventional patterns, and mold-breaking designs greeted visitors. This was when wallpaper could be intricate as paintings, electronics were heavy and bulky, and every house corner bore distinct personal touches. Today, we'll step into typical 1960s living spaces and discover familiar items present in almost every home. Conversation pits. Entering living rooms, the first eye-catching element would surely be conversation pits. These areas were warm hearts, souls of many 1960s homes. Imagine spaces lower than remaining floor, like sunken oases, inviting everyone gathering together. These conversation pits were designed bringing people closer in both intimate and stylish ways. They were often lined with plush, luxurious cushions and arranged around central coffee tables or cozy fireplaces. This space encouraged intimate communal atmospheres, perfect for lively discussions, endless chatter, or simply warm family and friend gatherings. Unlike today's rigid living room layouts, conversation pits, blurred furniture, and architecture lines, think of chilly winter evenings with entire families sitting together in conversation pits, fireplace warmth spreading, and laughter and secrets shared naturally. Though they gradually lost popularity, making way for open spaces and modular furniture, conversation pit returns could redefine social spaces. With modern materials and creative ideas, they can offer warm, vibrant, and engaging options, completely different from traditional living rooms. Shiny chrome kitchen items. Back in kitchens, the sparkle of counter items was impossible to miss. On kitchen counters, everything seemed finished in shiny chrome. Toasters, stand mixers, percolator coffee makers, and canister sets were all made of shiny chrome making statements. Imagine light reflecting off gleaming chrome toaster surfaces or stand mixers with powerful, sturdy designs. Chrome percolator coffee makers produced delicious coffee drops, while canister sets were also made of the same material, creating harmonious and modern overall looks. Chrome brought not only shiny beauty, but also symbolized progress and hygiene in kitchens. It was a symbol of modernity and convenience in home appliances. Although many other materials are used today, chrome's timeless beauty is still loved by many. These items helped create kitchens that were both functional and stylish. Wall-mounted rotary telephones. In 1960s kitchens, another essential item you would surely find was the wall-mounted rotary telephone. These telephones became more modern in the 1960s. You could find them mounted on kitchen walls, and they often came in colors matching kitchen interiors. Remember those days when mothers were busy in kitchens cooking while phones rang and having to reach for wall-mounted phones to dial each number on rotary dials? The characteristic clack-clack sound of rotary dials was a familiar sound in every home. These phones often came in various colors, from green, light pink to yellow, matching wall tile tones or Formica countertops. Having kitchen phones was quite common because this was where much of the day was spent. Housewives could cook while chatting with friends or family. They were Western Electric 500 telephones, known for their durability and beautiful design. They became widely popular in homes and offices across the country, and this popularity lasted until the 1980s. If not for wireless technology's advent, we might still be using these reliable Western Electric 500s. Pink and colored bathrooms. Continuing tours to bathrooms, you'd immediately notice stark differences compared to today's popular neutral tones. In the 1960s, pink and other vibrant colored bathrooms were symbols of personality and glamour. They transformed ordinary bathrooms into vibrant, stylish spaces, offering true resort-like feels. Imagine bathrooms drenched in soothing pastel blue or bold, striking avocado green. These spaces were often complemented by matching sinks, bathtubs, and wall tiles. This uniformity created harmonious and captivating overall looks. The queen of this trend was Mamie Eisenhower, the United States First Lady, with her famous love for pink. Her affection inspired homeowner generations to embrace pink, making it must-have colors in their bathrooms. Mamie Pink was like statements of femininity, comfort, and touches of luxury in homes' most private spaces. However, over time, these vibrant hues were gradually replaced by neutral white or beige tones. But as vintage aesthetics make strong comebacks, colorful bathroom appeal is slowly being restored. Modern revivals could blend vintage charm with contemporary design, bringing joy and personality that today's all-white bathrooms often lack. Built-in stereo players. Back in living rooms, eyes would be drawn to unique furniture pieces, not just for decoration, but serving important purposes, built-in stereo systems. In the 1960s, stereo players were ways to listen to music and show off home style. These players were subtly integrated into sleek wooden cabinets or stylish credenzas. These hi-fi systems blended seamlessly with mid-century decor, making music integral parts of daily life. Whether playing latest Beatles hits or filling rooms with smooth jazz melodies, these stereo players brought warmth and special atmospheres to living spaces. Unlike today's digital music streaming, experiencing placing vinyl records on turntables and listening to rich analog sounds was immersive and deliberate. It was ritual, quiet moments to fully enjoy music. You could open cabinets and see dozens of LPs stacked, ready to play. Imagine built-in stereo systems in modern living rooms with wireless connectivity, but still retaining classic beauty and warm vinyl sounds. That would be perfect past and present blends. Wood paneling. In the 1960s, wood paneling was a prominent feature of cozy and well-designed interiors, adding warmth, texture, and touches of sophistication to living spaces. Mid-century wood paneling was truly crafted from high-quality rich materials like walnut, oak, and mahogany. Touching smooth wooden surfaces, natural grain was evident, providing luxury and durability senses. Whether covering entire walls or just used as decorative accents, they created inviting, intimate, and personalized atmospheres. In bedrooms, wood paneling provided warm and secluded feels, perfect for chilly winter nights. They transformed rooms into private, relaxing spaces where outside world worries could be left behind. Wood's natural warmth also made rooms much friendlier and cozier. Over time, wood paneling was replaced by drywall and simpler paint finishes. However, today, many homeowners are rediscovering real wood paneling's charm. With rustic and natural design styles returning, using wood paneling not only brings timeless aesthetics, but also demonstrates appreciation for natural materials and craftsmanship. They can add warmth and depth to modern spaces, creating interesting contrasts with minimalist lines. Built-in planters. Keep eyes out for small house corners where nature was cleverly integrated into architecture. Built-in planters were prominent features of 1960s homes, seamlessly incorporating greenery into interior design. They were often incorporated into room dividers, entryways, or even kitchen counters. This not only brought nature indoors, but also enhanced both aesthetics and air quality. Imagine room dividers made of wood or metal, but instead of just simple walls, they had small niches filled with plants, or kitchen counters that extended slightly, forming charming small planters right next to food preparation areas. Whether cascading pothos, unique sculptural snake plants, or vibrant green ferns, they all added organic, fresh elements to mid-century modern spaces. It was a way to create green living spaces where humans and nature coexisted harmoniously. Over time, these built-in planters were phased out in favor of simpler decorative styles. However, as biophilic design, the trend of bringing nature into living spaces becomes increasingly popular. Built-in planters deserve revivals. If living in modern apartments, subtle built-in planters would certainly bring peace and freshness senses like small gardens in city hearts. Fondue sets. If attending dinner parties at 1960s homes, you would very likely be invited to fondue parties. Fondue parties were very popular in the late 1960s, and fondue sets were essential kitchen items, typically including pots, fork sets, and heating elements. This dish was delicious ways to enjoy melted cheese or chocolate. Metal or ceramic fondue pots were always placed on small burners with gentle flames, keeping cheese or chocolate warm and liquid. Everyone would use long, multicolored forks to dip bread, fruit, or meat into pots. Laughter and chatter would fill spaces as everyone enjoyed this unique dish. Bold and patterned wallpaper. Looking up at walls, you wouldn't be able to take eyes off vibrant, bold patterns. Bold and patterned wallpaper was unmistakable hallmarks of 1960s interior design. With sharp geometric shapes and vibrant floral patterns, they adorned walls throughout houses, from living rooms to bedrooms. This decade's walls were covered with captivating repeating geometric patterns, or large-scale flowers in vibrant, energetic colors. The patterns were like strong statements expressing homeowners' personalities and boldness. While today we often prefer monochromatic walls, in the 1960s, using wallpaper was a way to add depth, texture, and drama to spaces. Bold patterned wallpaper was one of the clearest ways to feel shifts from the 1950s to the 1960s, where freedom and creativity were vividly expressed in home design. Wallpaper's resurgence in recent years shows we are gradually rediscovering beauty and transformative power of these bold patterns. Sunken bathtubs. You'd be surprised by another luxurious and unique design: sunken bathtubs. Sunken bathtubs embodied luxury in 1960s homes, transforming bathrooms into home spa-like retreats. Unlike traditional bathtubs placed above floors, these were built flush with floors, creating seamless, modern looks that were both sophisticated and relaxing. After tiring days, imagine stepping into exquisitely tiled bathrooms, tubs sunken into floors like small, inviting pools. They were often surrounded by tile, stone, or even lush greenery, creating small natural oases right inside homes. These bathtubs offered deep, utterly relaxing soak experiences while adding elegance to spaces. Although they gradually lost popularity over time due to changing design trends and prefabricated tub development, sunken bathtub returns could redefine modern bathrooms. With contemporary materials and improved safety features, sunken bathtubs can once again offer homeowners stylish and serene bathing experiences like private getaways at home. Unique aesthetics combined with incredible relaxation makes them one of the most worthwhile features to revive from the 1960s. Do you remember relaxing feelings of soaking in tubs like this? Or intimate conversations in conversation pits? Share your memories in comments below. Retro diner kitchens. There was space that turned every meal into fun and memorable experiences. Retro diner kitchens from the 1960s were marked by bold colors, playful patterns, and vibrant, welcoming atmospheres. Inspired by classic American diners, these kitchens were visual feasts. You'd see black and white or red and white checkered floor tiles, creating dynamic and cheerful effects underfoot. Sparkling light from shiny chrome accents on utensils and appliances, reminiscent of jukeboxes or diner stools. Dining areas often featured bar-style seating or fixed booths, just like real diners, inviting everyone to sit down and enjoy meals. Color was key highlights, with vibrant reds, bright turquoise, or cheerful lemon yellows appearing everywhere. Kitchen cabinets might be made of sleek wood or laminate surfaces. Appliances often came in soft pastel colors like avocado green or burnt orange. Formica countertops with distinctive patterns also contributed to playful yet very functional looks. You might even see small neon signs adding diner touches. Interior stone walls. Stepping here, you'd feel solidity and raw, natural beauty. Interior stone walls were prominent features in many 1960s homes, adding unique, natural, textured elements that brought warmth and character to spaces. Unlike today's smooth, uniform drywall, stone walls provided depth and contrast, making bold architectural statements. Observe carefully laid river stones or rough slate slabs or natural rocks of various colors and shapes. These walls were often used in living rooms, entryways, or around fireplaces, creating rustic yet sophisticated looks. They looked quite like natural works of art, telling stories about materials and humanity's connection to environments. Light shining on rough stone surfaces would create interesting shadows, changing throughout days, bringing vibrancy to spaces. In contexts where more and more people seek closeness to nature in their living spaces, stone walls can be striking focal points, bringing peace senses, stability, and touches of luxurious lodge aesthetics. It's a way to bring wild natural beauty into homes, creating unique and inspiring spaces. Compact built-in bars. If you loved entertaining and having friends over, you'd be fascinated by the next feature in 1960s homes: compact built-in bars. Compact built-in bars were indispensable elements of 1960s homes, offering stylish and convenient spaces for entertaining. This space would be neatly tucked away in living rooms, dens, or even kitchens. They weren't bulky, standalone bar carts. Instead, they blended seamlessly with homes' overall designs. These bars often featured mirrored backs, creating greater space senses and reflecting shimmering light from bottles and glassware. Delicate glass shelves displayed beautiful glass sets and favorite liquor bottles. Smartly designed storage cabinets held liquor, glasses, and essential cocktail tools. Everything was organized neatly and easily accessible, making home happy hours effortlessly luxurious. As home entertaining trends become increasingly popular, these retro bars are ready for strong comebacks. With modern upgrades like sleek finishes, advanced hidden storage, and even concealed charging stations for devices, this retro feature could once again become must-haves for practical and stylish homes. It's invitations to transform living spaces into ideal destinations for intimate parties where cocktails are expertly crafted and stories are told in cozy, stylish atmospheres. Melamine dishes and Tupperware. In kitchen cabinets and on dining tables, you would see presence of two items that revolutionized daily life: melamine dishes and Tupperware. Melamine was practical and often colorful choices for everyday dining in the 1960s. These durable, lightweight plates, bowls, and cups often featured various patterns from floral to country style or vibrant colors. Thanks to this, family meals were worry-free if children dropped them. They were easy to wash and durable, making them ideal for busy families. Alongside that, Tupperware became extremely popular during this time, revolutionizing food storage. These airtight containers were often displayed in kitchen cabinets or on counters in fairly standard colors like burnt orange or avocado green. Who could forget special lids that kept food tightly sealed? Tupperware not only helped keep food fresh longer, but also efficiently organized refrigerators and pantries. Lattice room dividers. Do you remember wooden dividers with evenly spaced small squares or soft curving lines separating living rooms from dining rooms? Lattice room dividers offered ways to divide spaces without completely closing them off. Made from wood, metal, or even acrylic, these airy dividers featured geometric or organic patterns, adding visual interest while maintaining open and airy feels. They were often used in living rooms, dining areas, and entryways to define spaces without sacrificing natural light or airflow. Light could pass through lattice openings, creating interesting light and shadow patterns on floors and walls. These dividers offered degrees of privacy without losing connection senses between rooms. You could use them to create private workspaces in studio apartments or to create gentle separations between common living and dining areas. They were flexible design solutions offering both functionality and aesthetic beauty for those preferring minimalist living spaces. Patterned linoleum floors. Right under feet, patterned linoleum flooring brought bold designs and playful colors into kitchens, bathrooms, and entryways. From classic checkerboard patterns to atomic-era swirls or vibrant floral motifs, linoleum was simple ways to express personality in homes. Homeowners loved linoleum for durability, easy maintenance, and affordability. Shiny linoleum floors withstood wear and tear of busy family life and were easy to clean, making them ideal choices for high-traffic areas. However, over time, it was overshadowed by vinyl and ceramic tiles. But now, as vintage aesthetics make strong comebacks and environmentally friendly materials are increasingly favored, modern linoleum, made from natural materials like linseed oil and cork, offers stylish and sustainable ways to revive this retro trend. With modern manufacturing technology, today's linoleum still retains past unique beauty and meets environmental standards, making it smart choices for homes looking to combine vintage charm with green lifestyles. Fold-down ironing boards. Moving to laundry areas or convenient built-in cabinets, you discover smart and space-saving features. Fold-down ironing boards. Fold-down ironing boards were smart space-saving features in 1960s homes, integrated directly into walls, closets, or kitchen cabinets for easy access. Unlike bulky standalone ironing boards that took up valuable space, these convenient designs could be folded away when not in use, keeping homes neat and organized. You'd simply open cabinet doors, pull out ironing boards, and start ironing, then fold them back neatly and make them disappear. Many of these boards also came with built-in storage compartments for irons and essential laundry supplies, making household chores more efficient. They were testaments to practical design thinking of the 1960s, where every square foot was utilized to its fullest potential. As compact living and multifunctional spaces become increasingly popular, fold-down ironing boards deserve comebacks. With modern upgrades like sleek finishes, advanced heat-resistant surfaces, and even hidden charging stations for steam irons, this retro feature can once again become must-haves for practical and stylish homes. Among these items, which one was once your family's savior, making life easier? Tell us your story. Large console televisions. In the 1960s, televisions became increasingly common in households, becoming focal points of many living rooms. Many homes had large console televisions, often housed in wooden cabinets with integrated speakers and storage space. This was large, sturdy wooden cabinet with TV screens placed in centers, looking like luxurious furniture pieces. Below, or to sides of screens, were integrated speaker systems providing vibrant sound for TV shows and movies. There might even be storage space inside cabinets for other items. This TV was considered power hubs in living rooms where entire families gathered to watch news, entertainment programs, and favorite movies. Large TV screens, often protected by glass panels, were windows to outside worlds. They were symbols of modern convenience and indispensable parts of daily American life at the time. Although today's TVs are thinner and wall-mounted, these large console TVs still carry classic beauty and nostalgia for eras when TVs were valuable furniture pieces. Tiki-inspired decor. Another unique decorating trend of the 1960s was fascination with Polynesian culture. Fascination with Polynesian culture in the 1960s led to many homes featuring tiki-inspired decor. You might walk into house corners dedicated to small tiki bars, bamboo furniture, or colorful tiki glasses. Someone might even transform their living rooms into small tropical oases with exquisitely carved wooden tiki statues, bamboo lanterns, and grass mats. Small tiki bars could be decorated with tiki-shaped mugs featuring funny tribal faces ready for tropical cocktails. Bamboo or rattan furniture gave light, relaxed feels of distant islands. This trend reflected Americans' interest in exotic cultures and desires to bring bits of vacation atmospheres into their own homes. It was symbols of optimism, freedom, and desires for adventure of the 1960s. Mid-century modern furniture. Moving deeper into living rooms, you'd see furniture with elegant and minimalist lines. This was mid-century modern furniture. Sleek and minimalist pieces like Eames chairs, Danish teak sideboards, and kidney-shaped coffee tables were popular, defining modern lifestyles of the time. The Eames lounge chair combined high-quality leather and exquisitely bent wood, offering both maximum comfort and sophisticated design styles like works of art. Or teak sideboards with their clean, simple, yet refined lines, perfect for displaying favorite decorative items. Kidney-shaped coffee tables with their organic curves brought softness to spaces. These pieces were designed with emphasis on functionality and aesthetics, giving rooms light, airy feels. They became so popular that they quickly became symbols of modern lifestyles, emphasizing sophistication, utility, and timeless beauty. Mid-century modern style retains strong appeal to this day, proving that good design never goes out of style. Colorful upholstery. Sitting down on sofas in living rooms, you'd feel softness and find yourself immersed in seas of bright colors. Sofas and armchairs in the 1960s were often upholstered in various shades of orange, green, and yellow, accented with wood, bringing vibrancy and personality to spaces. The goal of these colors was both to add color to homes and create sensory experiences, injecting energy and joy into rooms. Combinations with natural wood frames of mid-century modern furniture created harmonious contrasts between wood warmth and upholstery vibrancy. This was statements of freedom of expression, of not being afraid to break traditional rules to create unique spaces reflecting homeowners' personalities. Unlike today's popular neutral tones, vibrant upholstery of the 1960s was invitations to fun and optimism. If you could choose one piece of furniture or an architectural feature from this list to bring back into your modern home, what would it be and why? Smoking stands and glass ashtrays. Smoking stands with large ashtrays were often found somewhere in living rooms, usually next to father's favorite armchairs. Smoking was part of most households at the time, but is rare today. Tall stands made of metal or wood with large glass or ceramic ashtrays always placed on top. The 1960s generation didn't see them merely as ashtrays. They were parts of lifestyles, accepted decorative items in common living spaces. If there wasn't a smoking stand, you might also find collections of various glass ashtrays placed on coffee tables or side tables. These ashtrays could come in many shapes, sizes, and colors, often made from heavy, sparkling glass or elaborately designed ceramics. They were small, authentic pieces that help us understand cultural contexts of the 1960s when everything seemed much simpler. Wooden magazine racks. Next to sofas or near coffee tables, you'd see simple but very useful items. Wooden magazine racks. When magazines were published for almost everyone, these wooden racks became convenient places to store latest publications like Life, Ladies' Home Journal, or Boy's Life. Many surely remember wooden racks with simple yet elegant designs, slots designed to hold magazines upright and easily accessible. Each magazine was window into 1960s world, from news, fashion, and cooking to entertainment. For boys, Boy's Life was like companions with adventure stories, articles about outdoor activities, DIY projects, and scouting tips. It played important roles in shaping interests and values of boys growing up during this time. Presence of these magazine racks spoke to reading habits and print media consumption of families back then, cultural traits different from our digital age. They were simple items, but reflected important parts of family life in the 1960s. Classic board games. On Saturday evenings, if visiting 1960s homes, you would very likely witness entire families gathered around tables engrossed in games. Family game nights were popular pastimes and often weekly events. Classic board games such as Monopoly, Clue, Risk, and the Game of Life were often found in cabinets or stacked on bookshelves, ready to be played and enjoyed. Rooms on weekend evenings were always filled with sounds of moving game pieces, dice clattering, and joyful laughter when players won or encountered unexpected twists. The Game of Life, whose modern version was released in 1960, was especially popular. It gave young people glimpses into their futures while also providing some insights into unexpected obstacles that might arise. This game taught that winning life's game meant ending up with most money and retiring to millionaire estates. They created unforgettable family memories where everyone learned, competed, and had fun together. In eras before widespread digital screens, board games were at centers of family entertainment, encouraging direct interaction and bonding. Electric blankets. As night fell and weather turned cold, especially in 1960s, homes with heating and insulation not quite like today, there was one item that became true saviors: electric blankets. Electric blankets were essential items for cold nights, especially when home heating and insulation were not like today. Remember feelings of being curled up in warm blankets, able to plug them into walls and radiate warmth while sleeping so warmly. These blankets from Northern Electric or GE with temperature controls helped keep people warm and comfortable all night. They were perfect solutions to combat cold, ensuring good and cozy night's sleep. Blankets were usually queen or full size, covered with patterned sheets. For many, electric blankets were cherished Christmas gifts, providing unparalleled comfort. This useful item brings back childhood memories for many of warm winter nights in families' embrace. Convenience and instant warmth of electric blankets made them indispensable items in every 1960s household to create more comfortable living spaces. We may not be able to turn back time, but we can keep these memories alive. Do you have anything special from the 1950s that we haven't mentioned? Share your story in the comments so we can preserve these precious moments together.